Today is the 12th of October. It is quarter to 4. 1,500 hours, actually. I was just listening to a guy on YouTube plug a book that he wrote about the media. And it got me thinking. I stopped watching TV about 4 years ago. Totally. And truth be told, I probably stopped 2 years before that. There was only one thing on TV I was watching, only one thing, and that was a show that was called Doctor Who. A show I've been watching since I was 14 years old. I'm 56 now. I quit watching altogether because they took this character of the Doctor, the time-traveling Time Lord, and they turned him into a woman. And it was the only TV character, the only TV show I liked, the only character in a TV show I liked. And to me, they totally ruined it. They just totally ruined it by being woke, because they and you know, I've gotten on these online forums on Facebook and so on, and I put my public view on why I didn't want to ever see the Doctor as a woman, and the vitriol you get back from these young people who are so all tied up in their social justice warrior bullshit. It just, and I've totally lost. I don't know if I'll ever watch the show again because they totally destroyed the canon of the show. And I don't know if you have an understanding what canon is. If you are a Star Trek fan, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, if it's something that you cherished for a long time and you just devoured everything related to it, books and otherwise, and the show has a canon, and real fans of the show always kept the canon. If you're a Star Wars fan, there's canon to Star Wars. When Star Wars got sold to Disney, they totally destroyed the canon of the show. They destroy every time these big multi-billion-dollar corporations get hold of a TV show, they are destroying it with their social justice warrior virtue signaling crap. And instead of it just being an enjoyable show to enjoy, now they want to make it more inclusive and relatable by putting gay and lesbian characters in there, characters of other races, which really isn't a big deal. But now it has to have it. You have to have this nonsense in it. So they totally ruin everything. You know, thank God that they can't destroy the books. But they're coming for them too next. They'll be burning those next. My message with this is really this. Turn off your TVs. Turn off your TVs. Stop watching the dribble that they are pushing. I don't even go to the movies anymore because they don't even make a decent movie. Everything has got to be a remake. Well, let's take. I'll give you a simple one. Let's take the movie King Kong, right? The original King Kong was made back in the 30s. Then they remade it back in the 80s, or maybe it was 79 or 78. Chris Christopherson and Jessica Lange. I remember going to the theaters and seeing that. And then Peter Jackson of Lord of the Rings fame remade it, which is, that version to me is fantastic because he recreated the era of the 30s, and the bug scene, the giant bug scene in there gives me the creeps. He did a great job. And then they remade it again with Skull Island, and there's going to be another one. How many times you got to make a King Kong movie? Truth, I mean, come on. How many times you got to make a King Kong movie? How many times you got to make a Godzilla movie? How many times you got to reimagine Dracula? How many times? Stop. Oh, just stop with this. This is what's happened to Hollywood. Hollywood has become a place where everyone that is there, actors included, no longer have an imagination, no longer have the ability to make and tell a good story. without trying to weave some kind of social justice warrior message bullshit into it. And not just that, but the whole point is, let's remake everything. Jeff Bezos of Amazon has bought for like $1 billion part of the rights to redo Lord of the Rings for Amazon Prime or Amazon TV. Does it really need to be done again? You can't just let it be. And there's a controversy that they're going to make it like Game of Thrones. I didn't watch Game of Thrones. Actually, matter of fact, the only thing I watched online was the stuff with the dragons, because to me it was the only thing that was worth watching. And at least that was unique. But I don't want, in Tolkien's universe, I don't want people, they don't need to be showing people getting laid. They don't need to have sexual stuff. They don't need any of that stuff. Let Tolkien's work speak for itself. Oh, how many times you got to remake Tarzan too? Jeez. How many times do we have to remake Batman? How many times do we have to remake Superman? I mean, Hollywood, get a grip and get your own imaginations and make something unique. How pathetic are you when you can't come up with something original anymore? I mean, seriously, you can't come up with something original. It boggles my mind. So, look, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, but I gave up TV because there is nothing on there worth watching anymore. You know, I grew up watching TV in the 70s and the 80s when there was real TV shows. And I can remember one of the earliest shows I used to watch was something called Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. It was a nature show. I'm sure anybody my age remembers it. You had Marlin Perkins and running around and, you know, trying to catch an animal and trying to, you know, tag it for scientific study or whatever. And I watched all that stuff. The biggest lie all those shows ever told you was that the predators always kill their prey. Now, I'm just giving you as an example. They tried not to show the brutality of nature. They would show it, but they wouldn't. They lied to you. And how do you lie to you? Because I have animals. I have animals that get killed by predators. And let me tell you what predators do. They're hungry. They do not wait to kill anything before they decide to eat it. I don't know if you could ever understand the horror when you see a bird of prey grab a chicken that it can't carry off and it decides to eat it while it's still alive. It never kills it. It ends up eating it, and you, as the owner of that animal, have to go and put the animal out of its misery because the predator couldn't kill it. It was out of its league when it came to what it caught and what it just, and this is how nature is. The lions do it, the big cats do it. They try to kill it, but they're too damn hungry. They tear into it before it's dead. That's one of the biggest lies television will ever tell you. It's one of the biggest lies television will ever tell you. So why do I tell you that story? I tell you that story for simple. The media is not your friend. They're supposed to be there to entertain you, but they don't entertain you. They lie to you. It's a propaganda wing of leftist theology. And it is there to manipulate you, brainwash you, and make you accept and change social norms that wouldn't normally be there. I'm telling you, if you live long enough, you are going to see the normalization of pedophilia, and it's going to come from the media. It's already starting to begin. It's already starting to happen. That's how they do these things in little incremented steps. You know, if you lived in the 50s, abortion was illegal. People knew what it was, and it was considered shameful. Jump 20 years into the future, it's celebrated. There are women walking around bragging, ask me about my abortion. Think about that. It's tragic and it's ridiculous, but you know what? This goes on all the time and it needs to end. Because really what it comes down to is they're trying to manipulate you, they're trying to change you, and they're jacking you around. Turn your TV off. Read a book. Really, seriously, turn your TV off and stop. Just stop. Stop letting these people feed your mind bullshit. And that's exactly what it was. Bullshit, revisionist history, all kinds of insane, crazy stuff. Just put an end to it. Turn off your TVs.